Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, our lesson is from the literature book, fifth unit, that is summary of the poem Daffodils, written by William Wordsworth, who laid the foundations of romantic movement in 19th century in England in English literature with the collaboration of S.T. Coleridge. He was the pioneer of romanticism in English literature. But most of his poems revolved around the beauty of nature. That is why he is also called poet of nature. This was something about the poet. Now I come to the topic, that is daffodils. Daffodils means Narkis. It's a kind of flowers that usually grows in water. That's why in Urdu its meaning is Narkis. Before starting the poem, I have to discuss all the figures of speech that the poet used in this poem. Figures of speech that he discussed, first of all, personification, metaphors, similes, imagery, exaggeration, or hyperbole. First of all, personification. What is meant by personification? The attribution of human characteristic, to something that is non-human. कि ह्यूमन करेक्टरिस्टिक किसी ऐसी चीज में क्रिएट करना जो कि नॉन ह्यूमन है, दैट इज नॉट अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, or the representation of an abstract quality in human form. This is called personification. Again, I would say कि किसी ऐसी क्वालिटी को जो कि ह्यूमन करेक्टरिस्टिक हो, नॉन ह्यूमन में, जो कि ह्यूमन ना, उसमें क्रिएट करना, और सिमिलर इफेक्ट क्रिएट करना. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं कहता हूँ, आई वुड से dancing candle was disturbing my eyes. Dancing candle. Candle non-human है. Dancing is the attribute of human being. It's a kind of personification. In this poem, in Daffodils, the poet used that the daffodils were flirting and dancing in the cool breeze, flirting and dancing, flirting, moving up and down, and dancing, human characteristic है, flirting human characteristic है. That is a kind of personification. Then I have to discuss similes and metaphor. When two dissimilar things or two dissimilar ideas are compared with each other by using as or like, that is called simile. I'll give you the example. Time is as costly as money. Time is as costly as money. Time is costly like money. Both are the examples of simile. He is as brave as lion. He is brave like lion. These are the examples of simile. If we remove as or like, directly we compare these two things. I would say time is money, or I would say he is a lion. That will become metaphor. After that, I have to discuss imagery. इमेज एज यू नो, इमेज अक्स को कहते हैं कि एक आइडिया क्रिएट करना, अक्स बनाना अपने माइंड में। समझ ना, लॉर्ड ऑलमाइटी हैज ब्लेस्ड यू 5 सेंसेस। वो कहते हैं सेंस, सीइंग की है, ऑडिटरी है, टेस्ट है, स्मेल है, टच है। बाय यूजिंग दीज सेंसेस you perform daily routine works in your routine life. You observe different things by using your eyes. You hear the point of view of different people by using your ears. You taste something. You touch the things. You observe different things by using these senses. But after that, when you observe these things in your imagination, by using with the help of those senses, that is called imagery. I would say in a simple way, मैंने lush green fields देखे, को देखा मैंने by using the sense of see. After lots of time, मैंने उनको imagine किया अपने mind में. By using the sense, I use the sense of seeing. That is the imagery of seeing. मैंने touch किया floor को. The surface was very smooth. But when I imagined in my loneliness up to how extent the surface of the floor was smooth, so then I used the imagery of touch, scent of apples, imagery of smell, juicy oranges, imagery of taste. These images are used in the poem. Again, the figure of speech he used, that is hyperbole or exaggeration. अपनी बात को बढ़ा चढ़ा के बयान करना जो कि अनरियल फॉर्म में लगे। जैसे कि उसने कहा कि I saw 10,000 at a glance, एक ही आंख में मैंने 10,000 डैफोडिल देखे। It seems to be untrue. In a glimpse, you can't be able to observe 10th, you can't be able to count the flowers within seconds. It's a kind of exaggeration or hyperbole. इसको hyperbole कहते हैं poetry में. Figures of speech. Different figures of speech that I mentioned, he used in the poem. But before starting in a formal way, stanza-wise, I will tell you, it's a question number 5 in board exam of 5 marks. There is the option, either you have to write down the summary or to paraphrase the stanza with reference to the context. But it's entirely up to you what sort of way you want to opt. It depends upon you, up to how extent you have prepared yourself. But as an experienced teacher, I will suggest you, I will advise you to write down the summary. Why? Because in board checking, it's their routine to award maximum mark to the summary rather than to prefer paraphrasing. They are not insured of paraphrasing. They are not habitual of observing paraphrasing. But as a teacher, I had to guide you both for the summary and paraphrasing. Summary, as you can find on the unique notes as well, that's a mediocre level summary, you can write that. But if you want to paraphrase, paraphrasing with reference to the context. First of all, you have to write down the reference. What you have to written in the reference? Suppose the first para of daffodils is included in your paper. You can give the reference. These lines have been taken from the poem Daffodils, written by William Wordsworth. This is suffice for reference. Now come to the context. How to write down the context? In 2 or 3 sentences you can write down the context as well. Now the context means background, perspective, background, backdrop. Because this stanza is from daffodils, you can say, you can write, okay, William Wordsworth, most of his poetry revolves around the beauty of nature. That is why he is also called the poet of nature. And in these lines, he portrays the beauty of golden daffodils in an enchanting, alluring, and an impressive way. He accentuates the beauty of golden daffodils up to the extent that everyone who reads the poem mused in the beauty of golden daffodils up to the extent that he relegated to oblivion all the things around. This may be the context. Context क्या है? Beauty of golden daffodils he described in this poem. Now you can paraphrase the given stanza by using your acumen, your intellect, as you have learned from your teacher. The first stanza of the poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. I wandered lonely as a cloud. As a cloud, again he uses simile here. He compared himself with the cloud. This is a way of simile. He is saying, you can paraphrase the stanza in this way. The poet says, I was wandering about here and there, just like a cloud, aimlessly, without any purpose, as the clouds wandered, as the cloud roamed over vales and hills. Just like a cloud, I was wandering about here and there, I aimlessly, without any purpose. I was moving about here and there. I was moving about passing. I was moving about here and there. When all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, flirting and dancing in the cool breeze. All at once I saw a crowd, suddenly I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, a bunch, a cluster, गुच्छा जिसको हम कहते हैं, golden daffodils, beside the lake, near the lake, beneath, mean under, beneath the trees, under the trees, flirting and dancing. That's an example of personification, flirting and dancing in the cool breeze. All of a sudden, when I was moving about here and there without any aim, without any purpose, just like a cloud, suddenly I came across a bunch of golden daffodils. I came across a cluster of golden daffodils. I came across a bunch of golden daffodils. They were growing near the lake. They were growing beside the lake, under the trees. And they were moving and dancing. A cool breeze was blowing at that time, and they just seemed to be dancing and moving and flirting and dancing in the cool breeze. ऐसे लग रहा था ना, कूल ब्रीज में पौधे मूवमेंट करते हैं, अप्स एंड डाउन्स. पोइट ने बड़े सोफिस्टिकेटेड वे में, बड़े कूल वे में उसको पर्सोनिफाई किया कि दे वर फ्लर्टिंग एंड डांसिंग इन द कूल ब्रीज. वो फ्लटर कर रहे थे, डांस कर रहे थे. इट्स अ वे ऑफ accentuating beauty. In the second stanza, he says, continuous as the stars that shine. They were seeming to be continuous, they were seeming to be endless, as the stars shine in the Milky Way and twinkle on the Milky Way. Twinkle, flashing, flickering, shining, twinkle, blinking, winking. What is meant by twinkle? Blinking, winking, flickering. टिमटमाना उर्दू में हम कहते हैं. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They were seeming to be continuous, seeming no end at all. There was seeming to be no end at all. They were continuous, as you see the stars on the Milky Way at night. They were seeming to be endless, seeming to be no end at all. वो एक लंबी रॉ में थे, का कोई एंड नजर नहीं आ रहा था. इसी तरह डैफोडिल्स का भी he wants to tell you कि कोई एंड नहीं था. He wants to tell you they were countless. This is a testing never-ending line along the margin of the bay. Margin H को कहते हैं, किनारे को कहते हैं. Bay, extended part of a sea, lake or ocean that is called bay. They were stretched, वो फैले हुए थे. They were extended. They were in a never-ending line. Again, the same meaning. They were seeming to be endless. In a never-ending line. उनका कोई end नजर नहीं आ रहा. 10,000 I saw at a glance. He used hyperbole, exaggeration here. 10,000 at a glance in the first look. They were seeming to be 10,000, tossing their heads in sprightly dance, sprightly, in a happy mood, in a jocund mood, happily. They were moving their heads up and down in a player way. They were dancing in a player way. The waves beside them, but they outdid the waves beside them danced. The next stanza is third stanza. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. The poet is having the point of view. When I was observing the beauty of golden daffodils, and they were moving their heads up and down, tossing their heads up in a player way, and they were seeming to be danced, and it seeming to be no end at all, just like a Milky Way in the sea. At that time, when I observed the waves of water near the golden daffodil, they were also seeming to be danced. But when I compared the dance of golden daffodils with the dance of waves of water, they outdid, surpassed, crossed, defeated the sparkling waves, glittering waves in glee, khushi mein, in a happy mood. But when I compared the dance of golden daffodils with the dance of waves of water that were also dancing in a happy mood, the dance of golden, I observed that the dance of golden daffodil, par excellence as compared to the dance of golden waves of water. A poet couldn't but gay in such a jocund company. A poet could not but gay. A poet couldn't but gay. What a poet can do in such a pleasant company, in a player company, in a happy mood, what he can do when he observes such sort of player company. Only he can be happy, he can feel player, be gay, meanings of gay here are, he can feel player in a happy mood, in a player way, in a jocund company, in a player company. I gazed and gazed and gazed. I started watching the beauty of golden daffodils without any pause, without any lacuna, uninterrupted, without any interruption. I started watching the beauty of golden daffodils because I was amused, I was absorbed in the good beauty of daffodils up to the extent that I relegated to oblivion all the things around. So I gazed and gazed. I started watching the beauty of golden daffodil without any lacuna, without any pause. But little thought. I was senseless at that time. I was not thinking anything except to watch the beauty of golden daffodil. What wealth the show to me had brought. Oh, you can't observe the wealth of joy, my wealth of joy, my pleasure, the limit of my joy, the unfathomable, immeasurable joy that I have had at the time. You can't measure. That was immeasurable. That was unfathomable. I was mesmerized. I was stunned. I was nonplussed to watch the beauty of golden daffodils. That was the scene. Just like that, I was mesmerized. You can't imagine the beauty of that I felt there, that I observed there. Lost in love. For oft when on my couch I lie, for oft when on my couch I lie, whenever I lie on my couch, I lie on my bed in a vacant and pensive mood, in a thoughtful and sad mood, in a melancholic mood, vacant and pensive, vacant, pensive and thoughtful, vacant, melancholic, sad, pensive, thoughtful. Again, that is sad mood. Whenever I lay on my couch in a melancholic mood, in a thoughtful mood, in a sad mood, they flash upon that inward eye. The scene of those golden daffodils that is preserved in my memory forever. They flashed before my inward eye. इनवर्ड आई जिससे मैं ब्यूटी को फील करता हूँ अपने अंदर की जो आँख है जो ब्यूटी को एस्थेटिक सेंस को मेजर करती है वो दे फ्लैश अपॉन माई इनवर्ड आई which is the bliss of solitude, that is the blessing of solitude in my loneliness. And then my heart with prayer fills, again, all the sadness vanishes away. And I feel pleasure, and my heart fills with pleasure. Again, I feel happy. And dances with the golden, and I started dancing with the golden daffodils in a pleasure way, in a happy mood. This is the end of this poem, paraphrasing each other. Now I will tell you the grammatical point that are used in the exercise in the next video.